welcome back to the 5th annual Foxbite Open here in Richmond, Rhode Island. This is round 1 feature card, and we have 9 exciting holes left. Shout out to our sponsors for this, Citadel Game Cellar in Groton, Connecticut. Check them out for all of your old school game needs. And of course, 978 making this event happen. We've got myself, Harry Chase, and Rivas Marcons Craig back on the mic. Rivas, what'd you notice about round 1? What are you excited for back 9?
Well, what I noticed, Harry, is that Willow Valley is still playing freaking tough, because if it doesn't give up, I'm never going to be traveling to this course. No, I'm just kidding. It's just a really tough wooded track, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, we have hole 10 here. One of our first left to right holes here. A lot of people's first forehand of the round. What Owen did there was honestly not that uncommon. A lot of straight, a lot of left finishing shots. First time we got to get that other action going. And, well, I know Larry's licking his chops as a lefty.
First lefty hole of the day, other than hole 2. Of course he's lifting his chops. But he actually gets chopped down a little bit early, and unfortunately we'll have to settle for par and scramble. Really tough entryway to the green, and let's see if Colten can access it. He's got a good angle for it, but I think that might have been a little too straight. Didn't get enough Anheuser on it early enough.
Yeah, we'll see. Colten going with the Midnight Prowl 1 Origin here.
Ooh.
And it is a very tough backhand. I mean, you saw he did get it to turn quite a bit and still off the mark here. I definitely think it plays better for the forehand. Right finishing movement. You don't need a lot of glide. Ryan showing us the way right here. He's caught up a little short, so long putt for birdie.
I like that shot by Ryan there, and he's going to have some work to do shooting +3 in the front 9. Let's see if he can get back to even for the back 9. Like we talked about, this course can be tricky, and it could, the bogeys can compound, and if you're not getting birdies off the bat, it seems like a battle on this course all the time.
Yeah, I think the back 9 honestly offers players a bit more freedom to score comfortably. I would say the front 9, there are a few easy holes, a few short par 3s, but a little on the flukier side. Meanwhile, the good players are going to find a way to get a few under on the back 9. There's just too much open for you, less trees, more direct lines, and so I expect Colten to shoot a better front 9 than he did coming to the back now.
I bet Colten wasn't expecting all this brush when he was thinking Rhode Island disc golf. There's something about New England disc golf, especially Rhode Island. It's so much more wooded than people would presume.
Yeah, out here in Exeter and Richmond line, pretty much. It's about as wooded as you get. We're pretty far from the ocean in Rhode Island terms. Maybe to the rest of the country, we're pretty close. But pretty wooded here. Arcadia is a big area of Rhode Island that encapsulates both Exeter and Richmond. So very wooded, not much going on, but perfect layout for some disc golf.
Averaging 3.27. That's actually one of the third hardest holes of the day. A lot of pars on that card, so they did a pretty good job there. Hole 11, I expect all birdies, 195 feet. This is just a straight shot, and it's simple, but there is out of bounds actually deep and left of this rock wall. You can almost see the rope right there in that drone footage.
Yeah, this one is certainly trickier than the average 200-foot straight shot. We have this OB right by the basket.
Don't do that.
Looked like Larry threw it perfectly, honestly. We get this nice little G-Star Rhino flight here. Flexing, low glide, and very well done there.
Perfect. So the last hole averaged 0.27 over par. This one only averaged 0.91 under, or 2.91, which is very surprising. I thought this would average a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, especially for the righty, the biggest fear is throwing OB. So what happens a lot is a bit too much height, and you get that hard finish out OB. But what happens just as often is knowing that danger, and instead yanking a disc far right. I mean, we see Owen here going to the forehand just to mitigate that OB danger, but he's going to pay the price and be outright with a difficult putt, putting right at OB. See if it pays off.
Yeah, this is a difficult putt. You're right. Didn't want to commit too left or too high. Settles for the par. And let's see if Colten can get the birdie. No! You think the OB got in his head a little bit?
I mean, probably a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it looked like he was in the circle there. No excuse for the miss from the veteran professional.
This camera makes it look like they're a lot closer than they are, too. I mean, I think Colten might have even almost been on the circle's edge there. I'm not sure.
Longtime GMT washers will remember Shane Wyatt's epic story on this hole from one of the first Foxbite Opens, nailing the ace in round one,
Love it.
not on camera, and then round two getting a dead center spit out on the purest drive you could ever have. So shout out Shane Wyatt, and yeah, go check that out afterward if you want to see a brutal spit out but a beautiful line. Moving on to Willow Valley's par 5 here. Only 583, so the distance is not the trick here, but these landing zones and these trees make this score pretty tough. Definitely an eagleable hole, but not an easy birdie either. This finish here and a new basket placement over the last few years makes it very tricky. A lot of tiny trees. If you're not right up on there, it can be tricky to find the line. So we'll see how this plays out.
This looks like a really good shot by Larry here, right off the tee, right off the bat on that hole. That's exactly where you want to be. He's in the money spot, and he'll have a really good 150-foot approach shot, I think. He's up there.
Wow, that was a fantastic lefty flex forehand. I don't think he'll quite be 150, but
oh, okay.
He should have at least a chance to maybe card an eagle. The trick with the new placement is there's not really a line, so he'll have to rely on luck, but gosh, I mean, I'd be shocked if he didn't card at least a birdie from that drive. Very well done there.
Yeah, I remember there's a secret spot that isn't too far, and it just seems like he was in that corner pocket up there. Maybe I'm misimagining this hole, but the old pin used to be to the right. This new pin placement is going to be to the left and near the OB road, so it's kind of a trickier play. I actually personally like it a lot. I love the OB factor, but somehow I always find it. And that looks like a really good, safe approach shot and layup by Owen Cook. He should be right in the middle of the money spot. You can see the wind picking up here for Ryan, and he's going to have a tough approach to the green here, but he gets up there.
Wow. There's a chance that's OB, but I think he might be safe. Fantastic shot from that location, and really as long as you're moving forward on this one, you're not going to take too big of a number.
I mean, it's good that it's a par 5, because if it wasn't for a par 5, this mentally would be a really challenging par 4. But it's almost too easy as a par 5. I don't know. The TD in me tells me it should be a 4.2.
Yeah, hopefully I've got some changes for the third Rhode Island Championships as Rivas. I mean, you weren't too far off. What a smash from Larry Warwick.
Yeah.
and might be circle's edge.
That's crazy. So that's for eagle, right?
That's going to be for eagle, yeah.
Wow. See where Ryan is right here? That's where I thought Larry was. Did Ryan just go OB? Isn't there OB right over there?
So nowadays the line is on the other side of the path.
Interesting.
Yeah, so where Ryan was, he was on the path there, but he's in the section where it becomes inbounds and is able to take that lane to the basket. Very tricky, though, because one yank or one tree kick can easily put you OB. But no, he was throwing over inbounds the entire time and does it well.
Owen's just like a half a hair inch short on some of these putts. That was for his birdie. And Colten cashing in on the par save on this par 5, this 580-foot 5.
Larry almost able to get the eagle.
I thought he was closer, to be honest.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, tapping birdie, not too shabby.
No, that's a good play by Ryan, especially from where he was. That was just really good birdie. I really like this hole. Which one do you like more, the new pin position or the old?
I mean, as a par 5, I do prefer the old. As actually, we must have missed a shot from Larry there, because I'm seeing on the PGA he actually carded at 5.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, his second shot we must have missed. I just don't like the unnatural factor of the new pin placement. There just really isn't a good line. I mean, nobody is really aiming for anything. It's just a lot of trees, and you're just hoping to miss them. So I've got some plans for that hole in the future. Hopefully we can put them into action, because the hole is a great hole. I just wish that green was a little bit less fluky.
Well, I really like where your head's at, especially for the Rhode Island Championship. Shout out to you for running that tournament and keeping it going. This will be the 3rd year coming up, right, you said?
That's right, yeah, 3rd year, bigger and better plans as we'll move back to hole 13 here. And Colten is showing us the play if you've got it on this hole. A lot of airspace up there. It is a little bit trickier than your average hyzer. You got to push it out straight a little bit, and wow.
Wow, Colten, that was almost an ace. Your first Rhode Island ace almost. That would have been really cool.
Great.
That looks like a good shot.
This hole is a little bit too tricky if you don't have the big spike hyzer. It's so far to the left, and you can't really get good ground plays. You see so many stumps, so many roots. You almost never see anyone able to skip one all the way up there. So not the best separator here is Larry unable to cash the long birdie putt. We'll have to settle for another par.
Yeah, but he might have slid. This green is kind of dangerous. There's always some fast rollaways here. Let's see if Ryan. I keep thinking Eric because his brother also played in the first round and second round at this tournament, the Mooney brothers. And that was for his par. And he's going to be settling for his bogey. But yeah, Eric Mooney shot a 975 round, first round, and they must battle a lot.
Anyone have a Sharpie? Yeah, I got you. Thank you.
That was a really good CTP by Colten and claiming his prize.
This is the part of the course that course designer Norm calls the power section. Getting now into some big bombers, and we'll see if Colten can take advantage on the rest of the field. Just showcase that spike hyzer ability on 13 and 14. Another eagleable par 4. Up the hill to the left. Takes a towering hyzer, but I do believe Colten's got the arm speed for it.
Absolutely. Most likely throwing his lone howl here. Come on, get up there. Get that fade. All right, let's see the catch cam angle. I mean, it looks good to me.
Yeah, Colten's taking the riskier line here. As you see, he's over OB right now.
Oh, yeah, the whole way.
Ooh, flirting with it, but staying safe. You can see that rope right there. Now, that is the easiest way to get up there for a putt. But, man, you touch one tree on that far side can be a dropped stroke really quick, but paying off there. And Owen also taking that line a little bit more inside, a little bit safer, but, yeah, should be an easy birdie from there.
He got robbed, man. That was a really good pull, and he's showing off his power there. Here's Ryan Mooney showing off his power with the most likely a DD3. Keeps it a little low, but he'll be in a patch where he should have an easy up and down for the birdie. This hole averaged 3.45, easiest hole of the day. Meanwhile, the hole before, Harry, that averaged 3.27. I did not expect a hyzer in the woods that is only 300 feet would have played 3.27.
What's going to be the closest place to get food around here?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you don't have that towering hyzer, it's just really hard to access the pin. And I'd imagine in this field, Colten might be the only one that had it. So
he made a move on that hole, and let's see if he can make a move on this hole. He has like a 50-foot look, it looked like. And before we get to his, let's take a look at Owen just laying up easy birdie. A lot of people birdieing this one. See if he can make it with his P1X. Oh, yeah. That wasn't 60. That was more like 45? 40?
I mean, his foot was right at the circle marker. He was actually right at 33 feet.
Oh, man, I have terrible depth perception. No wonder why I'm a terrible disc golfer. Nice putt there. Colten Montgomery getting the eagle, folks. That is unheard of on hole 14. I know you get it, Harry, a lot, but you're a touring pro now. Not a lot of locals are getting an eagle on this hole.
No, yeah, you truly need Pro Tour power to access this green and get it in the circle in one. And not just the power. Colten taking that line right down the road, placed it very well, and he's taking advantage of this power section right here. 3 under in the last 2 holes.
Yeah, he's making a charge here, and you kind of have to because Billy Dunn is right on his neck, actually. He's pushing for that lead card round 2, which we didn't get coverage for, so unfortunately, we only got the feature card here. But let's talk about hole 15, one of the best air shots on the course. What are your thoughts on this one, Harry?
Yeah, it's awesome. You get to go from in the woods to out of the woods to back in the woods, and you can kind of shape it however you want. If you've got this power, though, Colten's doing it to perfection. Wonderful shot.
That was a mid-range, right? Am I dreaming?
I don't think so. I mean, I would imagine this is probably in the realm of either an FD1 or a PD.
Okay, all right. Maybe I'm tripping a little bit. But that was a really good shot, Colten. And you're getting up there. It looks like you have a circle 1 putt, which is phenomenal on this 420-foot hole.
That one back so bad.
Owen's just leaking a little left. Just got too much air under it. It's hard to really get this one right in the center like Colten did for local. You can see this is the mistake a lot of people make where they try to pull it so hard, but it keeps going straight on them, and they're going to have a very tough look from the right side.
Yeah, well, speaking of Colten on this hole, I do remember an old video, maybe back from 2017, where Colten actually came here for the first time and hit that gap between the 2 trees with a PD on video and putting it right into circle 1 for a park job. So that just shows you the controlled power that he's got. And, yeah, that was really funny to see him play this hole again.
Yeah, and the longevity. I mean, the fact that he can just play for that long. And let's get one. Oh, my goodness. That's almost 2 bangers from really deep.
I mean, who else has got that? It just spinning it from range.
That should be it. I'd give it to him.
I mean, I cannot do that. Like, I don't know many people that can do that. He's really got a talent for just putting it on a line and spinning it. I mean, he didn't even have that much height on it. It was just pure spin and pace. great look there, just unable to cash it in.
Not only can he film great stuff, but he can also play very well, as you can see out here. And Colten Montgomery getting the birdie, the easy birdie. That was like 15, 20 feet. Oh my gosh, this hole averaged 2.91. I would have expected it to average a little tougher, I'll be honest. Because if you don't make it that second shot through that green, you have no shot for a par save almost.
Yeah, and, as I mentioned, like this back nine really opens up for the cream to rise to the top. Colten had a few tough holes, bogeying one. It's kind of just stuff that is not really what you think about, but when you have 13, when you have 14, when you have 15, and there aren't really trees in the way if you throw the right shot, you're going to see a player like Colten capitalize on that. Speaking of a hole that's difficult to capitalize on, hole 16, one of the only, I would say, 2 or 3 true two-shot holes on this course for a par 4. There's just no way to cheat this one, man. You have to throw a disciplined shot off the tee and leave yourself with a full shot on the next one. So we'll see who can do that well and card a very well-earned birdie.
Yeah, I think Colten went a little too aggressive there. He probably could have even gone mid-range, like MD5 or something. Owen went a little too deep, even though it looks good on camera. Although, let's see. He didn't like it. I don't think it's that bad.
That's great.
Yeah, a little to the right, but it's not terrible. And I personally love this hole, Harry. I think more disc golf holes should have holes like this. Again, there's something about a nice two-shot dog leg, keeping you honest, making sure that you don't get a really good look off the tee, no matter what type of shot you throw. It's all about that second shot, really.
Yeah, I agree. This hole is definitely not only a signature hole to Willow Valley, but one of the best we have. And totally right. I mean, look at this. Beautiful green. It's a great par 4, and more holes like it for sure. I'm in favor of that.
I would love to see more Rhode Island and New England disc golf like this. Let's see what Ryan Mooney was able to pull out here on his second shot.
Putting it to the wall from there is pretty decent. It's about just under 50 feet away. So see if Ryan Mooney can cash in a long one. This is a great place drive by Larry. You can see he actually has a run-up, which is not too common. And I think it's over that wall.
This hole is so deceiving. You think you're parking it, and you're still short. And Owen Cook, not able to get up and down. See, he was a little pinched to the right. You saw that?
Yeah, it definitely rewards being a placement drive. And the further are you back, the more kind of leeway you have. So kind of a debate whether you should kind of play it more safe, get more aggressive. In the end, Owen have a 4, and we'll see if Larry can get the birdie for the card, maybe even Ryan Mooney from distance.
Yeah, I would love to get him this one. He needs it. He's 2 over, almost there. Good bid. Can't obviously jump over those rock walls for a circle 2 putt, but Larry keeping it really high and getting a favorable kickback from the tree there.
Yeah, this round has been a lot of pars for Larry, and if you're just slightly off. Oh, speaking of slightly off.
What? That's the basket, right?
Yeah, he missed considerably off the pole there.
Yeah.
Damn, it's going to be a bogey for Colten.
You hate to see it. I'm going to say that term because I know he uses that term a lot. Moving on to one of the hardest holes, I think hole 17 is a really tricky and nasty hole. I don't get it.
Yeah, hopefully Larry can close out with a birdie or 2. But yeah, I mean, you can be on the par bus out here if you're not specific with these shots. And this hole certainly requires a specific shot. Dogleg to the right, but you can't really, as a righty, throw a forehand on it. Works much better for a long turning shot. You want to get deep, but not too deep, as that rock wall is OB. And yeah, just rocks everywhere on this one. So
rocks and trees everywhere. Look at this tee shot. I mean, what am I shooting into?
Yeah, it's certainly awkward. I mean, you can almost see the basket on camera. You can definitely see it from the tee pad, kind of as a U-shaped almost, but really no way to do it well as Larry. What a shot. As I mentioned, right, the lefty, you would think would throw a backhand here, but no, it works much better for that panning Anheuser. Larry has now twice done that with a forehand and thrown a spectacular shot, so kudos to that. Not easy.
He's got that angle dialed, Larry does. And speaking of dial, this was a really good pull by Ryan Mooney. Look how far he got. Anything near that tree, that leaning tree, is good. Same angle for Colten.
How many do you back?
And,
3.
yeah, he's throwing an MD1 and he's safe. I mean, he's probably in the landing spot, quote unquote. It's just hard to tell where exactly it is.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to say. It's certainly easier the wider you can get. And I think Colten is going to be on the inside. So he will have a tricky shot from here. He might even be going backdoor. I'm not quite sure what he's lining up here.
Oh, he's going backdoor. He's going Andy, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he took the proper fairway, but you can just see from there, even with the origin flippy disc, oh no.
Oh my goodness. He's playing so well. All right.
Oh, you can see from that angle from Ryan, he was kind of inside, so he had to really pull out a giant Anheuser where if you get straight enough, it can really just be a straight shot. I don't think any player was able to get wide enough to make it easy on themselves.
I was going to say, I think this is a hole that it could be a candidate for chopping a few trees. I think it's always just plays too hard for what it's trying to do. I respect the hole, but this green is almost impenetrable at times. Underneath that pine, feeling right at home in Colorado, I'm sure, with that setting there. And Owen Cook is going to have to settle for a par as well. A lot of pars on this hole, and this hole averaged 4.18, so that kind of speaks to the tune there.
Yeah, tricky green here and a tricky putt, honestly, for Owen. Right over the rock. Drops it in. We'll have a few other tap-ins, but yeah, man, cold day, early morning at Willow Valley. It's going to be hard to score, no matter what level of player you are. There's really no gimmies, other tthan, say, hole 11 or a few other shorties, but they keep you honest. You can't just throw a disc down there and collect your birdie. You have to make sure you're not OB. You put it close. You're not putting at OB. We'll close it out with hole 18, finishing out to a big drop off here. Have to hit this gap straight and then get some left fade. Tricky hole to park. We'll see how our players attack it.
It is tricky, but I really like it because it plays like a bowl, and you almost have a putt no matter where you land. Whether you land deep, you land short, you kind of always have a look at it, and I kind of dig that. You don't see too many New England holes like that. Ryan's going to have like a 45-foot death putt looking down on it. And Colten's most likely going to be going with his Arctic Bang here.
Smacks a tree. He's going to still be up pretty high on it, so no putt from there. And a tricky approach.
He's waiting for the ace, though. Owen loves this flight. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, that looked pretty prime for Owen Cook there.
MD3. Know that one there. Oh, wow, he juiced it. Whoa.
Yeah, Larry has a good play here as a lefty, going with the forehand. Much easier to get that late dump. And did that somehow hop over the wall?
I don't think it hopped over the wall. I think it just landed near the wall, but I didn't expect it to be that long. I expected it to be a little short the way that I was flying. I really like Larry's game. He's kind of got a huge mix of throws. He has the overhand, he has the forehand, he has the backhand. Very versatile player. See how this is kind of shaped like a bowl? I love this.
Yeah, really cool finishing hole for being a pretty simple par 3. Larry's going to be off the mark there. Disappointing round, I'm sure, but...
It is, but, you know, and we're not going to try to spoil it too much, because if you ever want to check out the Pro PDGA page to see what happened, you can. But Larry actually turned it around second round. He actually killed it and finished second place against Colten. Colten ended up winning this tournament shooting a 53. They really turned on the Jets. Kind of wish we saw it on the feature card, but like we were saying, it's hard to shoot 2 really good rounds at Willow Valley. It just is.
Thanks for being out here, Q.
Absolutely.
And Larry's going to be carding the bogey here, so that drive actually did go over the rock wall. That's incredible.
Wow.
A pretty terrible break.
Wow. Yeah, you got to end up getting a bogey on that. Wow.
We see our players make our way out of the hole 18 bowl. Big shout out to Q and John Gibbons once again for the camera work. As from myself and Rivas, thank you very much for joining us. And once again, Colten Montgomery taking down the win after round 2, completing his goal of getting a win in Rhode Island. So props to you, Discmania teammate. Well done, sir. And that's going to be a wrap from GMT at Willow Valley. Thanks for tuning in. Any last words, Rivas?
Well, thank you, Harry, for carrying this one, and thank you for everyone that's staying tuned. GMT grew a substantial growth in the last month and a half, almost 1,500 new subscribers, so we really appreciate it. We got a lot of new coverage coming out at the end of the month. Stay tuned, and thanks again for everything everyone's done for GMT.
Awesome. We got some more coverage and exciting news on the way. For Rivas, I'm Harry Chase. Thanks for tuning in. GMT signing off.